Welcome back. So it is a big week in 360 sprint car racing. We don't talk a ton about 360s here on the Rodman Rundown, but it is probably maybe I would say the second biggest 360 race of the year. I would say the Trophy Cup is ahead of that. And then I would say maybe that Fred Brownfield race at Skagit is also up there in the top five as well. That one pays $26,000 to win. The Trophy Cup, I can't remember how much it pays to win, but it's very, very good. Very prestigious race. The Knoxville 360 Nationals, down here you'll see it pays $20,000 to win, $2,100 for 10th, $1,000 to start, and there is $500 bonus to lead every single lap, meaning there could be an extra $15,000 to the winner, bringing the total up to $35,000 to win this race. So pretty good money for a 360 show. A lot of the guys that are going to be there are going to be either obviously going for the win, but trying to prep themselves a little bit more for the Knoxville Nationals, which is the week after the 360 Nationals. And you'll see on this board, there is a lot of parity, a lot of different names on the board, whether that's winners, whether that's top five finishers, whether that's prelim night winners. There is a lot of parity in this event. The last 10 360 Knoxville Nationals have been won by 10 different drivers. So maybe we'll keep that streak alive and go for 11 this week. We'll have to wait and see. But I wanted to look over here. We'll start top left of the board. We've got the last 5 winners of the race and the pole sitters for that main event as well. Why is the pole sitter important? That means that they were the highest point earner over the 2 nights at the Knoxville 360 Nationals. Obviously, half the field goes Thursday, half the field goes on Friday. Whichever driver gets the most points between the heats, the qualifying, and the feature gets the pole for the main event. So last year, Tyler Courtney was the winner of the Knoxville 360 Nationals. The guy that started on the pole, the high point man, was actually Emerson Axum. He would go on to finish second in that main event. 2023, it was Brian Brown getting the win just barely. It was a very close finish between him and Aaron Reitzel. Reitzel was the pole sitter, the high point man. He ended up finishing in second. 2022, Reitzel was able to get the win, and the high point man going into the main event was Linton Jeffrey. He would end up fourth in the feature that year. 2021, it was Giovanni Scelzi getting the win, and the high point man was Shane Golobic. Golobic was fourth in the main event that year. 2020, Kerry Madsen won both the feature, and he was on the pole of the main event as well. And so really that's the only time in the last 5 years that has happened where a guy started on the pole was able to get the feature win. But I mean, as you can see here, you got Golobic up there. That's a name that maybe you weren't expecting to see. Gio Scelzi before he was a full-time outlaw. Linton Jeffries up there, Brian Brown, Emerson Axum, Tyler Courtney, a lot of different names. And it gets even more interesting when you look over at the last 5 prelim night winners as well. Not many of the names that are right here are going to be over here as well, which is very interesting. In 2024, it was Caleb Johnson getting a huge win during the Knoxville 360 Nationals. He got the win on Thursday night. On Friday, and the one name that really seems to repeat itself during this section of the board is Sam Hafertepe Jr., which is my pick to win this race because, man, has he been on a tear recently in the 360 stuff. I know it's not nearly as good a competition, but he's won 5 races in a row, and he has shown in the past that he is just so good at this race. He won the Friday night portion last season. 2023, it was Aaron Reitzel getting the Thursday night win, and Parker Price Miller won on Friday. 2022 is Hafertepe on Thursday, Brian Brown on Friday. 2021, it was Hafertepe on Thursday again, and Giovanni Scelzi on Friday. And in 2020, it was Austin McCarl on Thursday and Linton Jeffrey on Friday. So a lot of different winners on that board. Hafertepe pops up 3 times. I believe that's it. Nobody else repeats on that entire board besides Sam Hafertepe Jr. Now, the top 5 since 2020, the last 5 years of this race, who has been in the top 5 and how many times have they been in the top 5? Multiple times. We'll find out right now. 2024, Tyler Courtney won. Emerson Axum was second. We talked about that earlier. Austin McCarl was third. Brian Brown was fourth. And Corey Eliason ended up in the top 5 at this event 1 year ago. 2023, Brian Brown and Aaron Reitzel were first and second. Rico Aber was third, Parker Price Miller fourth, and Ryan Timms rounded out the top 5. That was in his own 5T car at the time. Of course, we now know he's in the Lead Big Motorsports number 10. 2022, Reitzel won. We knew that. Sam Hafertepe Jr. was second. Clint Garner was third. Linton Jeffrey fourth, and Terry McCarl was in the top 5 in 2022. 2021, it was Gio Scelzi with the win. Darren Pittman second. Justin Henderson third. Shane Golobic fourth, and Brooke Tatnell fifth. And in 2020, it was Kerry Madsen with the win. Shane Golobic second. Corey Eliason third. Brock Zierfoss fourth. And Austin McCarl fifth. And it's just crazy to me the amount of different names on the board over the last 5 years, just showing the parity that goes into this event. Now, one thing I did want to mention as well, you can, if you zoom in a little bit, you'll see a couple of X's next to some names that we know are either not going to be there or they are not on the entry list right now. One of them is right here with Caleb Johnson. As of today, I'm recording this on Monday. I believe it's about maybe noon, it's probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon right now. Caleb Johnson is not on the 360 Nationals entry list as of right now. Other guys not on the list. Tyler Courtney, we know that he's injured. Emerson Axon, we know he's on the Outlaw Tour right now. Aaron Reitzel, we know that he is injured as well. Linton Jeffries not on the list. Brooke Tatnall's not on the list. Shane Golovic, Justin Henderson, and Brock Zierfoss and Corey Eliason. None of those drivers that we just talked about are in the main or on the entry list for this year's 360 Nationals. So could be even more parity coming up this year for this event. There were 5 drivers in this section that were in the top 5 at least 2 times. Shane Golovic twice, Aaron Reitzel twice, Austin McCarl, Brian Brown, and Corey Eliason. All of those drivers in the last 5 years have finished inside the top 5 2 times. The rest of them only once. And we mentioned Eliason, Golovic, and Reitzel. 3 of those guys aren't even going to be there. So it really opens the door, I feel like, for maybe some new guys to get up there and contend for victories. Now, guys that could be in that category to get up there and challenge for a top 5 or maybe even the win, let's look at who has won a 360 main event this year at the Knoxville Raceway. It has been a year completely dominated by Tasker Phillips. He has 3 wins this year on May 10th, June 7th, and the most recent race on July 26th. Tyler Gronendijk, the only other driver with at least 2 wins. He won on May 24th and on June 28th. Clint Garner, he has a win on May 3rd. Jamie Ball on May 17th. Cameron Martin on June 14th. Aaron Reitzel on April 26th. Ryan Timms, May 30th. Riley Goodnow, July 12th. And Carson McCarl got a win on July 19th. So many different winners here in this section of the board. Most of the guys on the board do run Knoxville on a full-time, regular basis. The only one that really doesn't would be Aaron Reitzel, I would say, on that board. Most of these other guys, they run at least the 410s full-time and a little bit of 360 stuff here and there. A guy like Carson McCarl, he does not run 360s on a full-time basis, but was able to get a win on July 19th. Now, looking at the point standings, they have 12 races in the books. Tasker Phillips has already clinched the championship. It's already over. He dominated this year, and he could be maybe the guy for the Knoxville regulars to win this race this year. Tasker Phillips in 12 races this year, 10 top 5 finishes. The next closest, I don't even know what the next closest guy was in top 5s. But the next closest in top 10s is 9. Clint Garner, 9 top 10s. And Tasker Phillips had 10 top 5s. Already clinched the championship. Tasker Phillips has been on another level this year in the 360s. Tyler Gronendijk, 3rd in points right now, 6 top 10s. Ryan Giles, 9 top 10s. He's 4th. Cameron Martin, 5th in points with 8 top 10s. And Jamie Ball, 6th in points with 4 top 10 finishes. So maybe I would say Tasker Phillips is definitely the leading contender for the regular drivers there, like the regular, points guys there to win the Knoxville 360 Nationals on Saturday night. Clint Garner, I feel like you never count him out in the 360s. He's won this race before. Tyler Gronendijk turned a lot of heads at this race last year. Maybe he can get things going, but it's going to be tough to beat guys like Brian Brown, right? I mean, guys like Justin Peck, who's been so good in the 360. We know that Rico's going to be there. Kyle Larson, Chase Randall. I know I'm missing a couple of guys here on the board. Gio Selzy driving the 7BC. Justin Sanders driving the Ridge and Sun Racing 87. Parker Price Miller. Ryan Timms has been on a tear. There's going to be a lot of guys that are going to be probably ahead of maybe these guys right here that won weekly shows. I think the only one at this point in time that has a really good chance is Tasker Phillips. He's been unbelievable this year. Now, looking at the overall entries, as of today on Monday about 2 p.m., there are 88 cars signed in to run this race. On Thursday night, there is 46 cars going, and on Friday night, there will be 42 cars going. So a few more on Thursday, a few less on Friday, and then, of course, they all come together to finish the job on Saturday night for $20,000 to win, $2,100 for 10th, $1,000 for last, and $500 to lead a lap. So, of course, you can watch it all live on Dirt Vision. So if you don't have Dirt Vision, well, you're SOL on that one. But if you do want to watch, it is on Dirt Vision, of course, as the 410 Nationals are as well. So let me know your thoughts. Who is your pick going into the Knoxville 360 Nationals? I mentioned mine already. I always like to go a little bit off the board and kind of take a guy that maybe not many are thinking about. And my pick is Sam Hafertepe Jr. He's been so good in the 360 this year. 3 prelim night wins in the last 5 years, a second place run 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So I'm going to go with Hafertepe, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you think is going to win? Who do you think is going to run well? And let me know your thoughts about the entire event in the comment section below. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll talk to you guys again here soon.